I can teach you code in Python in just 30 days, even if you've never written a single line of code before. How? Simple. In my 30-day Python using AI bootcamp, you don't learn to code the hard way anymore. You learn to think like a developer and let AI do the heavy lifting. I'll show you how to use AI tools that senior developers are already using every single day. Tools that write code for you, explain errors in plain English, and turn your ideas into working projects fast. Day 1, you're building your first script. Day 15, you're automating real tasks. Day 30, you have a portfolio that actually gets you hired. No CS degree, no coaching institute, no 6-month course. My students, people who were in your exact position, are now working as.
So, in the series of learning C programming, we are discussing classification of. So, in the series of learning C programming, we are discussing functions in C. We have. So, in the series of learning C programming, we are discussing. So, in the series of learning C programming, so here you can assess. So, how to declare that function here, right? So, here just write down the data type of those variable, right? Data type, I want to do sum of two integer number, int, that is what the declaration. No need to specify the name of the variable, right here. So now, suppose in main function, I am calling the sum, and here you will pass some argument. You can pass the static value 5 or 7, and or you can take from the user, and you can pass those variables. So here I'm going to take from the user. So I'm going to take two variable x and y, and from the user I'll ask enter x and y values, and whatever user will enter, that I want to pass, right? So address of x, address of y. So now while calling, here you have to pass arguments. So what argument I'm going to pass? X and y. I want to do sum of x and y and semicolon. But that is not it. Here we have to do something that I'll show you after defining this function. And here I'm defining this function. So data type is int, name is sum, and now in definition you have to write down the data type as well as the variable name. So variable name I'm taking A and B. Semicolon here. These variable name you can take same also, x and y, or here you can take a and b. There would be no problem. But if you have started programming, if you are learning, better to use different variable names just to differentiate that these are variables in main function, these are variables of some function, right? So now here also we need one more. Suppose variable name c, or we can take variable name is sum. That is also fine. You can take sum. It's not like that we have taken name of the function name sum, so we cannot take variable name sum. You can take. Here I am taking suppose s, right? And here do you need to ask from the user like enter to number, and you have to use like printf and scanf? No. Why? Because here we have done that thing, and the number on which you want to perform addition, that have been passed with this calling as an argument, right? Here we have those number, the values. So no need to ask from the user, right? Because we are taking those number as argument. So now S is equal to A plus B. Directly you can do some processing. The logic you can write. And now what? It will also return something. So return S. It is going to return what? Sum. I want to, that this function should return sum. So now, whenever this function will return something. So now where it will return? Here. Here, because we are calling this function. So it is going to return sum. So we have to store that sum in some variable. Yes or no? So here, what variable I am taking? Suppose I am taking here. You can take S also, same variable name. Fine, that's fine. But I'm taking here C. So I'm using this, but I haven't declared C here. So better to declare the C here first before using. Otherwise it will give error, right? So here. Now whatever the sum that has been stored in C. So now where you are going to print the C, because I haven't printed the C here. Because here this function will return the value. So we will not print that value here. Right? So here in main function we are going to print. So after this line you just write down a printf and sum is equal to %d, and now sum is in what variable? C. So C you can print semicolon. After this line you will close this main. Right? Here we cannot do sum is equal to %d and S. So here in main function we are going to print. So after this line you just write down a printf and sum is equal to %d, and now sum is in what variable? C. So C you can print semicolon. After this line you will close this main. Right? Here we cannot do sum is equal to %d and S. Maybe you think that S is equal to A plus B, so directly we can access S. No, because this S is what? Local variable to this function. Once control will go out of this function, means this S, the memory would be vanished. That has been allocated to this S. So we cannot use like A, B or S. These are local variable to this function. We cannot use these functions out of this function. These variables out of this function, right? And this X, Y, C, these are local to main. We cannot use these variables out to A plus B, so directly we can access S. No, because this S and sum is equal to %d, and